Hello there, and welcome back to our video series about orchestrating the music from the game Am Setsuna. This week we'll be speaking with contributing composer Max Faust about his arrangement of Deadly Gamble. Technically, Deadly Gamble is kind of a pre-boss battle theme. As game score fanfare identifies as a common technique, themes like this are really meant to hype the player up before they dive into the boss battle itself. Max and I talk about his approach for writing boss battle music, the importance of tension and dynamics, and how his taste for metal affects his writing style. Y'all know the drill, so let's go ahead and listen to Max's arrangement.
And here
Nice. There you go.
all other people kind of did some very melodic and lyrical and things, and so I was like, well, maybe I can try some things a little bit different. I love very, very distant pieces. I'm the kind of guy who listens to the Rite of Spring.
Like for fun, you're just like chilling and you'll put
Yeah,
Rite of Spring on.
just chilling on the couch and I will listen to the Rite of Spring. There's Stravinsky, of course. There's also Holst with Mars from the Planets. But like, you don't be afraid of going close to the genre. Take Uematsu as a reference. You know, it's like, go and study like the One Wing Angel. Go and study like the battle theme from Final Fantasy VII, especially the remake, because they are this kind of same evolution that we are doing. It's like they're taking like small, very reduced pieces that were done with a lot of constraint, and they're going full force with it. Like they're pushing the epicness level to 11. Those Who Fight Fervor, the reorchestrated version now in Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Airburster boss battle, they went like full force, like electric guitars, there's a choir, there's synth, crazy drum. Okay, no holes barred. I've kind of identified some tropes of the genre now. It's very concrete. For example, like no fade outs. It's always like very drastic change of dynamics or a build up. And when it change, don't be afraid to change a lot of things at once. First 3 bars of my interpretation of Deadly Gamble, you have this kind of this tutti, and then suddenly, like as soon as you enter into the 4/4, you have just piano. Really stark contrast in terms of orchestration. Like you reduce everything, reduced in dynamics, change of metrics, change of groove, right? It's kind of going contrary to the principle of composition by Schoenberg. Few changes to keep the sense of cohesion. You can do the reverse. You can change everything but one thing. The sense of cohesion is maintained by our expectation of having a very intense boss battle music. So you have to trust that your listener is going to stay. Keep the intensity fluctuating between 100 and 80% with whatever device you think is necessary. One of the hardest things to do when you are writing these things is to take things away. You will probably, when you take something away, you will have the impression that it sounds weak, because of course it does. Like you just took something away, so you took away the dynamic. But you don't necessarily take away the tension, because dynamic is something that has to do with orchestration, mixing, and things like that, and tension has to do with musical writing. Dynamic and tension have to evolve, and they can evolve separately or at the same time. But for example, I'm going to take again this passage at the third bar. It's really idiomatic of something like that. Those final climatic runs of the clarinets and the flutes and the piccolo. Dynamics have dropped, but the tension is still there because of the way the piano is written. Rest assured that if you conserve a certain level of tension in your writing, the weakness will be just temporary. But you cannot have an absence of dynamic and an absence of tension at the same time.
If you think of the cave troll battle in Fellowship of the Ring, right, there's one point where the cave troll's looking for Frodo. The dynamics of the music drop down, but there's still that ominous tension that, like, we didn't defeat him. He's right around there.
Yeah.
And then he looks around the corner and
it almost goes from action to horror, like in like one beat.
Totally.
So for the string and brass, I have Albion 1, and it's really nice because it has a nice cohesive sound. The strings can sound a little bit synthy, but the brass is really nice. The tuba is really cool. The woodwinds are my recently acquired Spitfire Studio Woodwind Professional. So the problem with Albion is that it's just ensemble patches. All trumpets, you play this line, and that's it.
They're great for getting to a sound quickly, but then afterward, you need to think about, okay, was mid brass, was that 2 French horns and 1 trombone?
I've learned music through metal first, a genre of music that demands you to just put a lot of energy into the music and have a very disciplined way of handling tension and dynamics. If you want to find like ideas for battle music, just pick up your instrument, make a very energetic quote-unquote riff, and that can be the basis for your song.
I bet that's how Tomoki Miyoshi wrote the original. Let's really bang on the piano for a little while and see what comes out of it.
Own your dissonance and own your change of dynamics and own your change of textures. Just do it. It's fine. It's going to be okay.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Max. As someone who's not yet written boss battle music, I was really encouraged by his advice and by the results that he got. Next week, we'll have our last video of this series, a discussion with contributing composer Nyakai about his arrangement of the Frost Caves map theme, Silent Snow.
Other pieces they're great. This one's great too, but it's just more great to me.
Please join me for some more fun and learnings. Until then, じゃあね.